Smith, have a report for you.
Okay, tell me.
The last question was about his being in custody. You mentioned that you were willing to let him out, and I assume no personal bonds, if we could show that he would be staying with an adult. I talked to a Miss Palmer, who is the woman that he was referring to. Miss Palmer is okay with him living with her, but she has some issues with the bond conditions. She does not want an individual living in her house with an ankle monitor. And she said she wanted to express that she is not his mother. Although he could stay there, she wanted to make sure that, I think she didn't want to take on any responsibilities that,
Sure.
you know. So I told her I understood that this was merely about living arrangements, and we understand it's temporary and all of that. But she said she was fine, but she just cannot do the ankle monitor. So I wanted to bring that to your
I
attention.
don't understand what that means.
She doesn't want an individual in her house with an ankle monitor. I guess it's something she's never come in contact with and feels strange. I don't know. She does understand that he's accused of a crime and that he's going through a criminal process, but this was her sticking point. Not what I anticipated, but that was a sticking point for her. So I wanted to bring that to your attention, and I guess my ask would be, would you be willing to amend that condition?
How are we able to monitor him then?
How would we monitor him?
Yeah. How do we know he's not going out in the middle of the night? Just
Well, we wouldn't. What we could do is, of course, what you said you would do, which is random UAs every time he comes. We could do frequent appearances for him. I mean, there's other, I mean, we're not gonna know where he is 24 hours a day.
It's a hard time making it, you know?
He does, he does.
We're
But
gonna,
I did discover that there may be some resources available to him that I'm working on in terms of transportation. So I think we can remedy that, and that's through MAC. I think we can remedy that. But that was the first thing, because I mean, he's been in jail the whole time and he hasn't been able to get out, cannot make bond, doesn't have a cosigner. She's not willing to be a cosigner for him. So it's either going to be he sits there, set it for trial, or the state makes an offer that you're willing to accept. That's kind of where we are at this stage. So that was the first thought, is whether you'd be willing to amend that condition. That'll get him out. He'll stay with Ms. Palmer while we work out these cases.
Good. I'm going to discuss with Kelsey in a moment and potential offer. We're going to talk about maybe a potential deferred, and we'll discuss it with Kelsey and see if you're amenable to that, Your Honor.
did you offer him a PTI?
No, PTI not offered, Your Honor. We offered previously a time served, but as you mentioned, you would not accept that. So we're going to discuss with Kelsey to see if some sort of probation.
And obviously, if the state were willing to offer a PTI, that's something I believe he would accept. But we talked about the potential for deferred, and I told him the legal implications of that.
My only issue is that if I let him out, as history has told us, when I try to get him here, it's very difficult. You know, there's this excuse, there's that excuse. The only time I'm able to get him here is because he picked up a new case. Otherwise, you know,
It had been tough to get him here,
I
Judge.
try to get him to go test, he just doesn't go. So it's,
Well, the last time when he was ordered to appear, he came, he walked 9 hours. I mean, he wants to deal with it, but he's like, in his words, the court took away my parents, so I don't have an adult to stay with. And I was like, well, your parents asked for you not to go there. But the way he views it is,
have you talked to them lately?
no,
Oh, the parents.
no. I've never, I spoke to his mom. She a lady who said she was his
But
mother
that's New Orleans.
several weeks ago, but she doesn't live with, no. I've never talked to the grandmother. She hasn't taken my calls. And then the other CW was
Have you tried to call grandma?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I was curious about the information that we received, but she won't take my calls or return them. So he's in this situation where he has no way to get out. He's missed school.
Can you mind bringing up Mr. Smith, please? Tristan Smith.
I don't necessarily want him to come to court every week, because that would, again, be absences and things like that from school. But if that's something that the court will require, we could work with Mac about transportation, getting him here. So I think he would be willing to do that.
Because it scares me to put him on too long of a leash, you know, because when we do that, here we are again, you know.
Judge, we always have the random UAs to ensure that he's not ingesting any illegal substances. I mean, we have things to do to keep tabs on him. It's just a matter of how do we move forward with him not being in jail.
No one's checked anything on these. Hey, who filed these? Nothing is checked on any of them. Nothing's filled out on here. Mr. Brooklyn. Alex.
I think you've got it the same way.
Right, it's. How's jail? The question is, how do we go from here? Where do we go from here? You know, all I want is the best for you, you know? And it seems like when we give you too much of a leash, no good happens. Nothing good happens. I want to let you out, and he has found you a place to go to, but I guess the requirement is she's saying is that she doesn't want you to have an ankle monitor. But if I don't put the ankle monitor, am I supposed to take your word that you're not going out in the middle of the night? Really? How am I supposed to monitor to make sure you're not?
I don't go nowhere. I just go to school, come home, that's it. I don't go nowhere. I don't do nothing. I'm just trying to go to school, that's it. I done already missed finals, been emailing her.
In this latest assault, where were they at?
So the latest assault, Your Honor, they were at, it appears to be at a residence. And then that's whenever they got into a group fight with the defendant and another female attacking the complainant.
Okay. I'm going to give you another chance, but I'm going to tell you now, 3 strikes, you're out. If I find that you're using marijuana, because I'm going to test you like crazy. As of today, I'm going to test you again in 3 weeks. If you test positive, it's not going to go well. Do you understand? You pick up a new case, and I don't know how else to get through to you, but if this is the only way, then this is the only way. I mean, somehow we have to get your attention. You need to make better decisions. If you come up across where there's going to be a fight, walk the other way. If you are hanging out with people who you know are up to no good, that they're going to go smoke weed, go the other way. If they're asking, hey, come on, let's go to the club, don't go. I don't want you out in the middle of the night. So you still have a curfew. Do you understand? What is reasonable, Mr. Brooks, do you think?
I have practice and stuff, so it would have to be like after like 5 to.
I would say 9 o'clock, Judge.
Okay with that?
17 years old, school activity should be finished by 8, I would think.
Okay, you must be at that house. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have, because since she doesn't want the monitor, okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have pretrial call you at 9:30 at night to ensure that you're at home. You're not going to know when they're going to call, but I'm ordering them to do that. So they're going to call. And if we call and they ask for you and you don't come to the phone, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? Okay, so the bond condition is to stay in school full time, and I want proof. I'm not going to take your word for it. I want proof that you're actually enrolled in school. No drugs, no alcohol, no contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you know who the person he was with by chance?
Second, Judge.
The person he was with?
In the second case, the young lady, she was not mentioned, or I don't know who she was.
No bars?
She was my ex.
She doesn't live with
No, she stay all the way in Cheneville. I don't even be in Cheneville.
No bars, no clubs, anything of this nature. Life is hard enough as it is. You see how hard it is when you don't have money. Life doesn't get easier the older you get. It only gets more difficult, especially being who you are in today's society. The only way that you're going to get anywhere is with this. Knowledge is power. And with power and with knowledge, you get money. And once you get that education, no one can take it from you, right? Only good things can happen. If you want resources, we have it here. I can give you paperwork so we can get you a cell phone and we can get you a tablet.
I have a phone and all that. Like I have a phone, I have an iPad. It was just hard for me to find housing at first because I didn't have nobody. So
you have someone now. So if they set rules for you, no matter how bad they are, you have to follow it, because if you don't and they kick you out, you're on the street again. So if she tells you to wax the floor, wax the damn floor. Because if you're not nice to these people, if you're not good to them, and if you don't have patience, you're going to end up on the street. Do you understand? Patience is everything. Self-control. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, for the drug testing, did you want me to just do it at the court's discretion so that for the dates?
I want to do random testing.
Okay, because last time we discussed it, we put them on weekly random.
No, I don't want to do that. We'll test in 3 weeks. 3 weeks we test them. And I also want you guys to call the house.
Yes, that's what we do for the curfew without GPS.
Right.
And you want that still 9 p.m. to 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay, so still keep the randoms.
And no weapon.
Yes.
All right, stay in school. Okay, come on.
Is Deion Jones on the docket?
Mr. Brooker. Mr. Brooker,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for hanging and doing everything that you're doing. You're doing good. Great.
Thank you.